Well, good morning. We ready to do this? Midweek. It's the Real Monica Adams show, and I'm saying good morning to you. And it is not just a good, but a great morning. So if you're one that likes to get out and walk or exercise early in the morning, this is your day to do it. In fact, if you can't get out early, midday, afternoon, even into this evening, the entire day is spectacular. This is what I'm talking about. This little intro to what we're probably going to have in the early part of fall, I would think. Let's check in just a couple of days with our aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore and find out if we have more oppressive heat coming. We'll check with him on Friday. If you are new to the show, yes, we have an incredible meteorologist that I will put up against anyone nationally, locally, regionally. He is at DeSmet Jesuit High School, just started as a freshman, and we've had him on our show since the beginning of the year. He started with us in January, and I know you all embrace him and love him. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, that's so cute. And I was like, no, yes, he's adorable, but he's really, really good. So if you have not seen that, we'll check in with him again on Friday. It's midweek, so we're at home doing a mobile Monica version from the house. Today, we're going to do some wellness workout with your back, your bicep, your core, and endurance, all of that together. So if you are wanting to do the workout, I'll give it to you. We'll show you some videos. You can do it right along with those videos, or you can hold on to this and do the workout at a later date. This is part of those Monica's motivational moments that were so popular during the pandemic that we continued when I broke away and went on to my own show. We're also going to give you news you can use. We'll do a little talker about some of the things that are going on in entertainment news. And then we're going to get into our wellness side, which is more of the mental, spiritual side of the show. And that has to do with a very powerful word that I've had a really hard time saying out of my mouth for many, many years. And I bet you a lot of you are right there with me. How hard is it for you to say the word no? No. I'll tell you what, saying that can give you so much freedom and so much power on this path and this journey of wellness. So we'll talk about all of that today, all here on the Real Monica Adams Show. So let's kick it off. Let's give you the weather. First of all, the 7-day forecast, as I mentioned today, just absolutely beautiful. Low humidity as well. You'll feel that 78 degrees down to 58. And that's where a lot of you are waking up this morning in the upper 50s, low 60s. Tomorrow, same thing. Low humidity, just a little bit warmer, 82. And I'm talking about a really beautiful weekend. If you want to get out on the boat, you want to go swimming, running through a sprinkler, whatever. 89 on Friday, 92. We got some clouds coming in on Saturday. And then on Sunday, there is a low rain chance, 93. Then we get up into the mid 90s. So definitely the heat is not gone. It's back Monday and Tuesday, 95 for both days. That's your high. But the evening, really looks nice. 75 for the low. And you see, we've got Cardinal games on tap for tonight, tomorrow, and then also next week on Monday and Tuesday. I unfortunately have to start with some unfortunate news. This still affecting our drivers on the Missouri and the Illinois side. Westbound 70, I've been following this story for the last hour and a half, has been shut down, and now it's going to remain shut down as accident reconstruction crews will be on scene investigating what St. Louis City Police and authorities are now saying is a fatality. One person died on 70 westbound near Branch this morning. The crash happened just before 6 a.m., so we're talking about this just within the last hour plus. All eastbound lanes of 70 will remain open. So again, the westbound lanes remaining closed while accident reconstruction investigates the crash scene. Delays can be expected for maybe another hour plus. So again, one more time, westbound 70 near Branch, one person was killed, a pedestrian. The Stan Musial Bridge was also affected. So if you're coming over from the Illinois side, you may want to take the Poplar Street Bridge or an alternate. Otherwise, you will be affected. They will have to reroute you in all of this. And of course, prayers going out to the person that was struck and the family members. Other news this morning, a group breaking into a South City business and stealing golf carts and $120,000 in items. This is such an unfortunate story. The owners of Gateway Carts, this is in Benton Park, says a group of thieves broke in. They stole golf carts, tools, and more than $120,000 of merchandise. According to the co-owner, they clipped the lock off, came in, got up, and that's when they saw everything was missing. They said, we started this company 10 years ago in my garage. The co-owner says they've built the business from scratch. They're offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. 8 golf carts, pricey tools, batteries, tires, rims, and a whole lot more taken from the gateway carts. They say over the span of an hour, the suspects came back several times. St. Louis City Police, of course, continuing their investigation. Now, I've been mentioning over the last couple of days the problems with transportation in the St. Louis public school districts. Well, Alton Public School says they're bending over backwards to make it work after a series of issues, including students getting on the wrong bus, being dropped off at the wrong location. How scary is that? The superintendent acknowledged publicly that the bus issues have had devastating effects on some of the students. They said, I know everyone on our team has bent over backwards to make this work. Superintendent went on to say that they're doing everything they can to get the system fixed. Parents shock, of course, when their children didn't get off the bus after school, later found in a gym with dozens of other students. So this is a ongoing problem. And I mean, again, if you know someone or you've got a child that's affected by this, please reach out and let us know. I'm hoping that it's getting a little bit better, but as you can hear in some of the frustration from comments from some of the parents and of course from the district itself, a very frustrating issue that continues as the school district has just officially started. Kids all back. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of children back in school now on both sides of the river. Other news that I would want to pass along to you that we can just do as a little talker. This has been rumored for a while now about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Are they going to get divorced? Are they going to be able to rekindle this? There are many talk shows that the two of them have been on over the years because they were together forever ago, came back together, get married, and then I've seen a lot, whether this is true or not, and you can weigh in if you've seen something else. I've seen a lot of articles saying that the level of celebrity that Jennifer Lopez has is something that Ben Affleck said he couldn't handle. So Ben, obviously a big star, but the level that J-Lo is something that he couldn't handle. He's more of a private person. She's very, very public. In fact, he's not big on even being in pictures that she would be taking for Instagram, etc. But anyway, the papers were filed, get this, on their wedding anniversary. So it is leading the news today that J-Lo and Ben Affleck are divorcing. The Democratic National Convention, day 3 on tap, and some of the headline speakers include former President Bill Clinton. Of course, yesterday, former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama declaring, quote, something wonderfully magical is in the air. Have you been watching the DNC? If so, what are your takeaways from that? Those are the things that I thought were more powerful and talkers in the news. And then if you are a BMW driver, they are recalling more than 720,000 vehicles due to a water pump issue. Yeah, due to an issue with the electrical connector, actually, that could potentially lead to a fire. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said that the recall includes some X1, X3, and X5 vehicles, as well as some other models. So, do you or someone you know have these? The impacted vehicles have water pumps with insufficient sealing. According to the report, they may be susceptible to fluid ingress at the electrical plug connector over time, and there is the possibility that a short circuit could occur. And there's potential, of course, in that for a fire in some of the rare cases. Vehicle owners are expected to receive a recall notification in October. So we're just giving you a heads up early. They will be instructed to take their cars to an authorized BMW center to have the appropriate remedies performed for free. So again, more than 720,000 vehicles, X1, X3, and X5. Some of those you will get a notification in the mail. All right, it's breakfast time, and a lot of you starting out, maybe you've grabbed your coffee or tea, you're already making breakfast. I hope so. Important, the most important meal of the day. Well, this little guy was in our front yard about 15 minutes ago enjoying his own breakfast. Isn't he gorgeous? That was a wonderful way for me to start my morning today. I just absolutely love that. All right, I'm going to be looking at some of your comments and your questions. We're going to get into our exercises, and then we're going to talk about the most powerful thing that you might be able to say in life, and that is the word no. All of that coming up on The Real Monica Adams Show.
She's a special woman and done so much for St. Louis.
Watching her work is one of the most incredible things you can see.
She just sees value in everyone.
Sometimes people just need you to sit with them and hear them. I feel heard.
The time flew by, and it was like sitting and talking to a friend.
Not only creating a better place here in St. Louis, but to inspire others. It's always great to have examples like you.
You have such a light and such a presence, and I could feel it this morning.
We knew right away when you started this, we wanted to be on your show. Thanks for having us.
I look forward to seeing how you rock and roll and shake it up.
I love shaking it up. And hey, as we transfer over the next few days, actually next few weeks, from pool season into fall, you're just going to transition to the two greatest things that this company is aligned with, and that is pools and spas. From what I understand, a lot of really cool hot tubs are coming in, and it's the end of the season. Why don't you stock up on some of the fun toys, the flotation devices, the chemicals? I mean, really what I would do is make sure that you have chemicals on hand for the beginning of next year, so you're not rushing out when you have to do the opening. If you don't have anybody lined up yet to close your pool, let's call Just Pools, pool and spa specialists, and get on their calendar so they can take care of the end of season. Closing up the pools. I know anybody who's a pool owner, we hate this time of year, don't we? Because we love sitting out like that on a beautiful backyard oasis. If you haven't built yours yet, and it's a dream that you've had for a long time, well, trust Madonna and her team at Just Pools. Again, the pool and spa specialist on the West Outer Road in Arnold. I know a lot of you talked about it. You know, during the pandemic, a lot of people changed things around and started saying, instead of going on vacation, I'm going on vacation in my backyard. You want to get a pool, above ground or an in-ground pool, or maybe you have one and you want to start putting steps in, diving boards, slides, all those cool features. That's what our friends who are big supporters of our show can do for you. Again, Just Pools, the pool and spa specialists. I put my name behind them. They are the ones that built our pool, and they're the ones that take care of it as well. Love them. Hopefully you had a chance to see the wonderful interview we did with Madonna. Just an incredible human being, and that's why we support her. Again, we appreciate everything you do to support those that support us. You see across the screen all of our wonderful current sponsors besides Just Pools. We have Regional Dermatology, and that's part of our Medical Monday. Dr. Sarah Jensen, she'll be back with us on Monday. Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa, that's where we'll be tomorrow for Positive Talk Time. In fact, tomorrow we're going to introduce you to a animal chiropractor. And if you followed over the last several months, we featured Jalapeno. Jalapeno has wheels, so it does have a weak back legs, but he's been doing water therapy and he's been adjusted by this incredible chiropractor. He's actually going to show us what he does with Jalapeno tomorrow. Positive Talk Time. We have Defiance Ridge Vineyards, their big Camus wine dinner tonight. Are you going? We're going to be there for Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. And then, of course, Just Pools in Arnold. And then My Pillow. We thank Mike Lindell. We have a new business that's starting with us. That's right. Breaking news. Super excited very soon to be introducing you to Jennifer Warman Bloss and Elemental Aesthetics in the Creve Coeur area. I'll be going by there today to meet the staff. So we keep growing and growing. And then we have some upcoming shows that we'll talk about a little bit later on today. If you have to leave, mark these on your calendar. I'd love for you to be at these Mobile Monicas. One of those is September 12th. We will be at the Landing Hub, and that will be from 4:30 to 6 p.m. And then we want you to go to their secondary business because we're not done. We're going to hang around with you and go to the Cigar Vault. So the Landing Hub, again, September 12th, 4:30 to 6. And I'll go a little bit more in depth about that a little bit later on. But yeah, the Cigar Vault, if you haven't been there, is a little sneak peek for you. That's where we'll go just down the street afterwards, have a drink together, laugh together, and celebrate the wonderful success of this show. And then our big 400th celebration. I cannot wait to spend some time with Tiffany Winkler and her family, the family of six. That's why it's called Circle Six. They have their farm, and then they opened up just over, a month or two ago, this beautiful place, the Watering Hole, which is in Defiance, Missouri. We're going to be there with great food, and I do mean the best meat you've ever had. Great food, great friends, drinks, music, tons of giveaways, and a big celebration of 400 shows already. We'll do that together October 4th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. All right, let me say good morning. And I think I scrolled across someone having a birthday. So let's just go back, give a shout out. Sean Fitzgerald, good morning to you. Linda, good morning. Kelsey, good morning. Up and Adam. Kathy, good morning to all my beautiful people. Ashlyn is up. Oh my gosh. Ashlyn was working well into the early morning hours. I don't think she went to bed till 2 or 2:30. She's already learning from the workaholic right here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but she was putting content together for an interview that I'm going to do with Nathaniel Hurst, or Nate. He's from our area, and we are so proud of him because he is in the production of Hamilton, and he's from our area. She actually went to school with him, was in choir with him. And if you know, Ashlyn Cross, Kelsey Oglesby are two of my interns from SIUE. We'll have that interview, by the way, a little bit later on, either this week or next week, that I will be doing with Nate. And then we'll play that back for you before Hamilton starts next week at the Fabulous Fox. Are you going, by the way? Have you bought your tickets yet? You do not want to miss this performance. Great way to start the day, Linda says. There it is. Great weather for my walk and my birthday. 66 years young, Linda. Happy birthday to you. And I'm not going to sing happy birthday the way they did at the DNC. Holy cow. Did you see? That is not a good video. Have you seen it? That one went viral. They were so off. I don't know if they knew the words. They were way behind. It was quite comical. Debbie, good morning to you. Good morning. Love the earrings. Thank you. Threw those on this morning. It's talking about beach time. Happy birthday to Linda, Carey says. Kathy Holden Reed, good morning. Diane, good morning to you. Julie Fabian says happy birthday and good morning, friends. And happy birthday, Julie, from Kelsey. Transportation issues, Julie Fabian says. So scary not knowing where your child is. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine your child getting off at the wrong bus stop and maybe even wandering around a neighborhood? I mean, there's some serious issues they have got to get taken care of in the St. Louis City, and then even over on the Illinois side, the Alton district. Yeah, I hope none of your kids are affected by that. Kelsey says happy birthday to Linda. I just love this community. Ashlyn says happy birthday. Jerry, good morning to you as well. And Julie Purcell, good morning. Janet, good morning. I'm listening from Kirkwood, Missouri. Love it. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. I sure am, Janet, as well. It's just so beautiful outside. Marilyn says, yay, excited for your new sponsor. Yes, so start putting that down, Elemental Aesthetics. And thanks to my team for dropping in a link so you can already check them out. We're talking about wellness from a natural look. That is why we aligned so much. Michelle heard her talking at our Adventure Unknown in Fenton live broadcast. I hope you've been there for a tour, by the way. I'd love for some of you to become members and take your personal and professional life to a whole new level. They were there talking. Again, this is the community that you would meet. And Michelle turned her head right away and was like, you need to talk to Monica. Monica's all about natural, real. And so we started talking. Sure enough, Jennifer and I are aligned just like that. So can't wait to meet her and Liz in person a little bit later on today. Okay, Jenny says, if you can't get in with Dr. Jensen, her nurse practitioner is amazing also. We loved her. The office was so incredibly helpful and nice. Agreed. Let's stop there for just a second. Jim and I went in a week ago. And you know what the cool thing was? Jim was so worked up because, you know, like a lot of guys, they'll find something and think the end of the world's happening. He even told Dr. Jensen that. She gave us both head to toe exams, said your skin looks amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Put the sunscreen on your face, on your ears, on your neck, on your arms, etc. when you go out. Take care of your skin. And it was a nice peace of mind for Jim to be told everything's great. And so that's what you need to do. In fact, I'm glad that she told us this. You need to get in and do your annual exams with the dermatologist. She says once a year from like 40 on. Obviously, if you have issues, you get in there right away. And the cool thing is she can get you in, unlike a lot of dermatologists that are saying, nope, can't get you in for 6 to 9 months. And so some people have asked, well, how can she? Because she owns 2 locations. Festus, that she's had for 14 years, right across from Mercy down in the Festus area. And then she opened up the Chesterfield location just a few months ago, so she can get you in there. And as Jenny said, if you schedule an appointment and she's down at the Festus location and Chesterfield's closer for you, you can get into her wonderful nurse practitioner. They are beautiful. And the offices, by the way, are absolutely gorgeous as well. So welcoming. Marilyn says, happy birthday to Linda as well. And doesn't it feel nice? Again, the love you're getting getting Linda from the community. Tony, good morning. Stephanie, good morning. One subject of no. If I don't have the right to tell you no, I don't have the freedom to say yes. Oh, that's Carrie's comment. I like that. We're going to get into that in just a second. Okay, 7:20. Let's start talking about the fitness side of the triangle of life. And by the way, if you are new to my show, let me let you know that if you have friends that you've been trying to turn on to the show, telling them this is the way you want to start your day, Monica gives you the news, gives you the weather updates, gives you sports news, gives you mental, physical, spiritual connection, giving you positivity, inspiration. By the way, did you see yesterday's show? What a powerful sit-down interview with the Ferguson, Missouri police chief, Chief Troy Doyle. I cannot thank you enough for coming in and being real. His public information officer, Pat Washington, wrote me last night the sweetest email, and she said that she is there for us for anything that we may need in the future. But this was the email from her that I just thought was so unbelievable. Thank you so much for doing this, you and your team, giving it the treatment the story deserves. And then she said, I'll share the link on our social as well. If I can help you with anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. I love these emails from guests that have been on our show, and just knowing that there's an impact, a really big impact that we're making. That meant a lot to me. So if you haven't seen it, please watch it and then share it, which is what I was kind of getting at, that if you have friends that say, I don't want to be on Facebook. Well, that's why we are on multiple platforms. Just tell them to watch on YouTube. Then they don't have to be involved with what many believe is the negativity of social media. Just go to YouTube, subscribe so you always get notified when we're going on, and you can watch the shows at your leisure. All these shows, again, we're coming up on almost 400, are packed up there for you on Facebook, YouTube, X. We're live on X right now, on Rumble and on Instagram. And then afterwards, my team puts these incredible stories and reels together. Thank you to Tia Tricamo for putting together the one that we did yesterday. Thank you to Kelsey and Ashlyn working behind the scenes with everything they're doing. And welcome, by the way, to Hannah Ledford. Let's all welcome her. She is another student from SIUE. She's actually the daughter of a gentleman who taught me how to shoot and edit when I was at Fox 2. Brian Ledford, you did a great job. She's wonderful, and we welcome her to our team. So let me bounce over real quick, make sure we're not missing anybody. Oh, Tia's on, or was on Instagram this morning. Anybody making a comment over there? They're usually very quiet on X. If you have a comment, you can put it on to Instagram and I'll see it on there. Let me run over to X real quick. Make sure that nobody's saying things there. All right, just liking and watching the post. So Marilyn says Cheryl Doyle is a beautiful soul and amazing leader, and Chief Doyle, excuse me. Chief Doyle is a beautiful soul, an amazing leader, and he is a game changer, super influencer. Thank you. Yes. Wasn't he just a heart of gold for sure? So if you have not watched that, I encourage you to watch it. And then tomorrow morning, I encourage you to listen to it, because Kelsey's working behind the scenes to turn that into our podcast. We do have a podcast, by the way, besides the talk show, and that airs on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. As soon as we wrap up our live show, whether we're on location for a mobile Monica or if we are doing our show from home, as soon as we wrap up at 8 a.m., immediately you can throw those earbuds in and then you can listen. Even if you've seen the show, I encourage you to listen to the show, because many times you hear things that you miss. Even when Michelle was editing for us, she used to always say, gosh, it was so powerful to hear the message all over again. And yeah, that's why we have a podcast on top of all of this. All right. So the mental, physical, spiritual side of life is what I'm really big on. And that's 33% of each one of those, making up 100% of balance. If any of those you are faltering on, then you're going to have a problem. Mentally, you have strife. Physically, you feel like you're overweight. You're not eating properly. You're sluggish. You cannot operate properly throughout the day. You're in a mental fog. You feel like everything's against you. Well, that's because you're not taking care of the body. The one body you are given. You only get one. So do the best with it. And then the spiritual side. And I'm not saying religion. If it's a religious connection you have, wonderful. If it's a spiritual connection you have, faith-based, whatever it is, again, something guiding you, working on prayer, meditation, clearing the mind, all of that is important. Well, if we take care of all of those, then that's the best human being you could possibly be. That's my theory. And so I tackle all those in every show that we do Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. So if you are new, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you're taking us with you on vacation. Stephanie says, I'm drinking my coffee out of my Know Your Value cup. Oh, I love that. Thank you so very much. Marilyn says, amazing team, fabulous team, passionate and hard workers. Yes, they are. And I want to thank Zach Kimball for, again, it's all about a tag team. I taped these segments yesterday when I went to the gym, and there are requirements, I guess, for this software that we use. And it's all about like height and resolution. I had all of these. I spent about 2 hours last night putting together the videos, which I wish when you take the videos on this phone that they would just immediately be able to convert to what you need. No, it takes it in a .mov, if you understand this. And then I had to convert them all to MP4s. Well, you think that's great. And then you put them in, and then all of them gave me a red line saying they wouldn't go in. That's what I was dealing with last night, up very late putting these together. And I happened to send a message to Zach and said, what do you think? He's very good into technology. And he said, it's what I thought it was. The resolution's too high. So he had to go through and do one extra little thing. He did this all for me so that we could show you these videos that I think are really powerful for the physical side of your triangle. So let's get to it. It's the biceps and the back. Shoulder work obviously comes into play when you work back. That's the beauty of it all. There's many things happening when you do pull days or back days. So pulling like row work, or maybe going into pull down or pull up work. I will tell you that in this workout, and I want you to write this down, this is what I did. And when you do a workout, please do me a favor. Make sure that you check with your physical therapist, your physician, any doctor that's taking care of you if you have injuries or some type of an illness. Make sure that you're okay to do that. You've got their physician's consent before you try to attempt any of this. Before I got to this exercise I'm going to show you, I had already done 4 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions on a pull down machine. Hopefully you know what that is. Pulling down, kind of priming my back. Then I went over and did long rows on a machine. For those of you that cannot get into a gym, that's okay. Get some resistance bands, or get some light dumbbells, or get a kettlebell, or I don't care, get a can. For some of you, you can't, you're coming back from an injury. Maybe you can only lift a pound or 2 or 3 pounds. Or like we did in the pandemic, we looked around our house. What can we use that's around the house? You use a milk jug. You use a Tide container when you're doing the laundry. Something that has a little weight to it. Use that instead of what you're getting ready to see me use at the gym. Yeah, I'm at the gym. I can use dumbbells, but you use what you can to make it work for you. So again, if you want to start with this, you can do either way. You can do pull down or pull up work. You can do row work. I did 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps before I did this exercise. This is more of like a lawnmower row or a dumbbell row. And this is going old school, back to one knee on the bench and then proper alignment. Take a look at this. All right, so let me walk you through this. So I'm pointing to the fact that I want you to be aware of drawing your navel in. See how straight my back is. The thing that I see wrong that I want to help you all with, a lot of my clients still go into the rounded back, the big hunching of the back, and then they strain their neck and they're looking up. So I'm going to let this fire one more time. Kneeling on the bench. My dumbbell is down below. That's what I'm showing you. And then I'll point to my core. And that is all about drawing the navel in. And I always tell people to think of like attaching the navel to the spine. You are leaning in on it. You are putting your hips back in alignment so that there is no, again, humping or arching of the back. So for that, I did heavier yesterday. Just kind of sometimes I'll go back and forth just to see where my strength is. So that was a 40-pound dumbbell. You have to find what works for you. So the one question that I can't fill in is what weight you should use. The repetitions, I can give you kind of an idea of if you're trying to build, you're going to lift heavier weights, you're going to probably do lower repetitions. Because if you can go on with 15, 20, 25, 30 and up repetitions, well, then you are not trying to build and put on muscle. You're going to maintain. And that's great. You want to carve the muscles more, you want to gain some strength, but you don't want to build, stay in the range of about 12 to 15, maybe 20 repetitions. You'll be in that leaner phase. So I go between wanting to do 3 to 4 sets of about 6 to 9 exercises, and I stay in the range of about 15 to 20, 25 repetitions. But then I'll do days that are my heavier days, which this was one of them, doing 40-pound dumbbells in that. So if you're keeping track, that is my third exercise that I did, because again, started off with the pull downs and then went into the rows and then did a third row here, the dumbbell row. Again, any questions on that? Drop in to the comments, whether you are watching right now on Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, Instagram. I can get to those messages for you. Okay, so we'll move on if there aren't any questions with that. We're then going to go, staying in the back before I get into the biceps, I went into a T-bar row. Okay, if you're not in a gym and you don't have access to a T-bar, you could have a bar at home that you use, and you're going to stand over the top of it. So the bar is actually behind you, hopefully maybe positioned against a wall. There's also in the gym bars that you can put into this apparatus where the bar stays in place, because you don't want the bar moving all around you. And without being in front of you right now, I probably can't explain to you and show you how we used to do it when we would kind of lock the bar up against plates that were on the ground or something that you can bury the bar into. Otherwise, it's all about doing the pulling upwards, and you need to make sure that you have the strength to complete the movement, going all the way through the full repetition, all the way down into the stretch, all the way up into the squeeze. So this is a T-bar row. I'm going to go into the machine, step in. Ideally, you're putting your feet on the platform and then you're lining. See how where my chest alignment is? So you don't want to be so far down that it's slamming into your shoulders, nor do you want to be way up where it's in your belly button. So placement of your chest on that pad is important. I changed the angles on this. That's what I'm showing you. An inside and a wide grip. So for this, I started with 35 pounds. It was a little heavy. So I went down to 25, but I did 6 repetitions in one angle and 6 repetitions in the other angle. So this is where I wrapped up the middle part of my back and then went into low back. Okay, it's 7:32. I'm going to take a break, continuing on the physical side and then going into the topic of how important it is to learn how to say no. So if you have any comments about any of this so far, let me know. We'll wrap up with the low back, get into the biceps, and then get into the mental and spiritual side, because really learning how to say no fits into both of those. Drop your comments in. I'll be right back.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my 2 best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay. Order today.
Thank you, Mike, for being a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. All right, looking at comments, Sherry wanted to know what is the name of the physician assistant for Dr. Sarah Jensen at Regional Dermatology. And Jenny already commented, it's Molly. And she said she's absolutely wonderful. That's at the Chesterfield location, by the way. So you can see Dr. Jensen or you can go to her PA. Regional Dermatology, again, 2 locations. Chesterfield and Festus. And yes, get in yourself, or like Jenny did, she brought her daughter in. Do not delay on that. It's very important for peace of mind. Sherry, that was the Chesterfield location that Jenny went to. Which location do you need to get into? I'll make sure that you get in. I can send a text to, in fact, I can multitask and send a text right now to Dr. Jensen, even though she is, I believe, she's either in San Diego or she is in Indiana while her husband's at home taking care of the doggies, which I had a chance to meet the whole family. They're awesome. She is taking one daughter to college in San Diego, both of them first year, by the way, and then one in Indiana. Thank you, Kelsey, for dropping all the information in. So Sherry, if you want to, you can look at the information that Kelsey just dropped, and that will give you the phone number for both locations and the address as well on Highway 61 in Festus or on Conway. They're located in the Chesterfield area. Okay, I'm going to wrap up the back for you. If you don't have any questions for the back exercise I've shown so far, this is for your low back and your glutes, by the way. It's kind of a dual thing that I like here. So I went over to the bench. All right, I'm showing you how important it is to dig in. Your alignment is your hips up against the platform of the bench, whatever you're going to be on. If you try this on a chair, please make sure that the chair is not going to move. It's got to be a stable source. So I am kicking my legs straight back, squeezing, you can see, squeezing the glutes. This is going to work into the erector area of the back, the low back, and then into my glutes, into my hips. My hamstrings are engaging as well. So on this particular one, I went straight back, and then you'll see me transition here, touching my feet down to the ground and going upwards with my legs out. That kind of finishes up the movement for the glutes. For this repetition, if you want to know how many I did, it was 25. And then slowly getting up, protecting the back, using my core as I pushed back up. I will tell you, a lot of the injuries that happen to people when I'm personal training is how quickly they try to get out of the movement. Keep in mind, you're just finishing it up. Stretch, then get up slowly. Take care of the body. So that was 25 repetitions, and I did that 3 sets on that low bench. Any questions on any of that? If not, and by the way, let me stress this. If you feel I cannot do these things on my own, I need some help, let me change the crawl and tell you that we can help you physically, mentally, spiritually. I've been a personal trainer for 26 years. I get a question a lot. In fact, somebody wrote last week, Monica, do you take on new clients? The answer is yes. Possibly. It depends on if we can coordinate schedules. I would incorporate you in semi-private sessions with a wonderful community that we have built over the last several years. And a lot of those women watch the show on a regular basis. They can tell you how much they love. They can either train virtually. That means I can train you literally anywhere around the world, whether you are living somewhere else or you're on vacation and you want me to train you while you're on vacation. Michelle and I were in Mexico, and I saw a lady doing just that. She was working with her trainer on her tablet, and I loved it. I'm like, yes, you go, girl. Stay with that trainer. She's got you taken care of. Otherwise, it might be that you have to head off to work in the morning and you want to train at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. We could do that before I start the show at 7 a.m., virtually or in person. We do some night classes, and I do a Saturday morning class. So I should say semi-private session. If we have enough, then yeah, we could go back to class. But right now I do semi-private and I do private sessions. I also do life coaching, which I've been doing for the last 2 decades. And that is where you really dig into mental blocks, spiritual blocks. You're having trouble with food. Let's dig into all of that. Reach out to me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and let's take care of you. Okay, before we get into the core and in the endurance side, I want to show you one of the bicep exercises that I did, and I will let you know that I did more than this. So if you're writing it down, I can go back through and tell you. I'm going to show you a front angle and a side angle. This is one of my favorite exercises. This actually shows you rotation. So if you see, I am starting with my palms facing down and then driving upwards, squeezing at the top of the rotation. Now I'm going to ask you to keep your head down on the bench. I'm just making sure that you can see, since I was filming this on my own. I don't want you doing that. I'm going to show you a side angle so that you can see the rotation that happens. Again, this is a little different from just doing a regular curl with your palms facing upwards and then coming in. It's the rotation, and the reason I do that is to work in the forearms, the strengthening of your wrist, getting into both heads of the biceps, and then squeezing all the way up to the shoulders. So you're going to lie back on an incline bench and be able to do that full rotation. Okay. Any questions on that? You can let me know. Before I show you the core and in the endurance, I continued in the biceps, ended up standing up and doing what I call 21s. And we've been doing those for many, many years. And that is doing your bicep curls where you go, let me show you here as I'm seated. You could do them seated or you can do them standing. You're going to go from the low end to just 90 degrees. So you're going to do 7 of them here. You're going to pause at number 7. You're going to go from here all the way up, but pausing back down at 90 degrees. So you're going to do the lower half, the upper half, and then you go all the way through the movement 7 times. That makes up, of course, 21 repetitions. I did 3 sets of those. And then I went over to get into my core and my endurance. So I'm going to show you that. Let me make sure you don't have any questions on that. I never want to move too fast that you're confused. Jenny's still talking about regional dermatology, which I love. The staff will call you quickly when you inquire about needing an appointment as well. Can I do that in the pool? I think that's what you were saying because that got cut off, Stephanie. Is that what you're asking? Can you do some of these in the pool? Absolutely. The great thing about pool work, water aerobics, is that you have different, maybe you've got these little flippers that they give you, little paddles that they give you. You can go up through the water. So if you need a modification, 100%, Stephanie, I would love for you to be able to get into the water, use the paddles, and then push up through the water, against the water, to do bicep work. You can push against the water. It allows you to do tricep, and depending on if you keep your arms straight, pushing down, and it works your back. So yeah, please pull the questions into play if you need a modification. Okay, so then I ended up going into more of the endurance side. Slam ball work and high knees. Now understand, and I stress this again, you need to make sure that you're okay to do these exercises. This is a little more elevated. This is going to give you a pretty high heart rate. I used a 30-pound slam ball 15 times and then did 15 seconds worth of high knees with no break. All right, let's take a look at this. This is again yesterday, as you can see, using the 30-pound. I leveled up because when I'm here at the house, I have a 15 and a 20-pound slam ball. So I thought, what the heck? Let's use what they have there. 30 pounds slamming down. Now notice, I am not going from, this is really important. Look at my form. When the ball goes down, I follow it down and I use my legs, not my back, when I go to pick it back up. So a lot of people will slam it down and then they will keep their legs straight and try to pick up the weight. That is very dangerous. So 15 of these and then boom, right into high knees for 15 seconds. When I got done, I needed a little break. Try to pull the heart rate back down. I was working within the zones, high endurance, more endurance, athletic side. Then you can work into like the mid zone. You can work into the lower zone. That's why people run, sprint, and then they cool down a little bit, and then they start it back up again. It's that same mentality. So as I just mentioned, that might be a little too advanced for you. Fine, then you find something that works you within the zones. Or again, you hire a good personal trainer that can help you with that. And then my finisher was this. I really loved this exercise. So this little apparatus that I'm going to use is a sand-filled bag. I'm getting into a push-up plank hold. You'll see me look at the camera, pull my hips down just a little bit, and then making sure that I really pull that up and go side to side with it. I ended up doing 20 of these total. So counting each one, and then 2, taking that up to 20 repetitions. And I did that 2 times. And then very important at the end of that to do a little cat-cow stretch. Why? Because I am giving some love to my back. While I work the core, you want to make sure that you're also never forgetting the importance of stretching. Great workout. Again, one more time, going through back, bicep work. There's the stretch I mentioned, the little cat-cow at the end of it, giving some love to the back. Don't forget about that. All right, everybody. So there is your fitness side. We taped that yesterday at the gym where I work out. I hope that helped you. Maybe you're looking for some new things to do. Write that up. Again, pull down work. I did row work. I did the long lawnmower rows. I did the T-bar rows. I did the back extension, hyperextension. I did it a little different way though, against the bench, which got into my glutes as well. I did the rotation of the bicep curls. I did 21s for standing bicep curls. Then I went into the endurance side as well as the core side and did slam balls with the high knees and then wrapped up with the sandbag side to side pulls. Great workout. I was in and out of the gym in an hour's time. I made sure that I immediately, and this is important, got nutrition into my body to replenish the protein and the carbohydrates that I needed for fuel and to build lean muscle tissue. Feeding the lean muscle tissue, we have to do what? We have to eat protein. I hope you all enjoyed that. I just gave you the physical side of it. That is a free personal training session without me being able to obviously be in front of you to look at your form, but hopefully that helped you. Okay, with what we have left, about 15 plus minutes, we are going to talk about the spiritual mental side, which is the art of saying no, and some other things that I can pass along to you that really fall into what can help you with being able to say, I need to say no in life. Some self-care tips for nurturing your mental wellness. Stephanie said, yes, we have the paddles, the foam weights, and the noodles. You're welcome. I'm so glad that is going to help you. Okay, any questions, any comments, drop them in right now. I'll be back with more of the Real Monica Adams Show when we return. He wants to say, I can't believe I took your son's life. I don't know what I was thinking. I have so much regret and remorse. I've changed my life. Would you accept that apology?
I've never thought of that. Yeah, I would.
Do you think, because you talk about forgiveness, do you think that you all can ever forgive one another and come back together?
It wasn't just right. I'm not perfect. Just because my name is Bush, I don't have it all figured out, and I think they know that too.
I was cyclically depressed, so I could be the happiest person you ever met at 11 a.m. I could be on cloud 9, and by 7 p.m. that evening, I'd be sitting on a couch with a gun in my hand. And hard not to get emotional. I
never feel sorry for being emotional.
I really, I was at a space to where I couldn't believe that I had brought my children into this.
Where's the light? Because many of you probably feel that there's this darkness and there's this thunder cloud that's constantly over you. This family has dealt with so much.
Our journey is our journey. There has to be purpose in this pain. There has to be something more powerful. I have to find something to be blessed about every day. I have to count my blessings and have gratitude every single day.
So unbelievably powerful. And again, I hope everything's going well with Amy Post. I was supposed to be on her Advocacy and Hope podcast that she has on Monday. And if you know the story and the interview that we did with her, she's the author of the book, Out of the Gray into the Light, an incredible read. And when you talk about overcoming adversity, boy, what that family's been through, they had an emergency procedures test that had to be done with her daughter. And so we are going to be rescheduling that. I'll, of course, let you know when that will take place. I gave this to you at the beginning, but I think it's very important, just like we would do when I was in news, that you still may have to reroute yourself. A pedestrian was killed on westbound 70 near the Stan Musial Bridge, the westbound lanes remaining closed around Branch and Madison, a lot of people being rerouted. And they also were affecting the Stan Musial Bridge. So they were preventing people coming over from Illinois since it was in the westbound direction. So you may still be dealing with that. I would highly recommend that you check on your maps, your Waze, whatever you use before you head out, or listen to some of the great traffic reporters on the radio. Roger Brand, one of my favorites on KMOX. Sometimes Frank Ladd, who was an old reporter of mine, fills in. They will take care of you to make sure that you're not going to get stuck in that. And again, prayers going out to the person who was struck and killed and to the family. What a devastating way to start the morning. All right. I looked over on Instagram. I don't know if he's still on, but Tron, who is just incredible, part of Miley, he and his family, and then he had Nudo House and so much more. He was on earlier. I'm not sure if he still is, but a shout out. I want to have him on the show very soon. Dr. Maureen Hughes, who's going to be I have many guests on this day. September 3rd, mark that down. I don't know if she's still on, but she was on earlier, and she does a lot of great things in the wellness world. Just trying to say hi to some people that are joining on different websites, different social media. Yenology, I'm having a discussion with Sarah, who owns that. What a cool place. I really am looking to lock that in for a future mobile Monica. I think we're going to work on that. So I'm not sure if you're on, Sarah, but looking forward to seeing your place in person. And then Orlando says good morning over on Instagram. Good morning to you. Okay. Joy FM traffic person said it is currently closed. Yes. Okay, Julie. So that is most likely Scott. Scott is the traffic person that was at Joy FM, and I love him. Have you ever heard any updates on the baby Freya, who we all prayed for last year? I haven't. So I will reach out to the family and let's get updates on how she's doing. I love the fact that so much of the community came together for baby Freya. And if you are not familiar with that story, what a wonderful story that was. Yeah, we'll have to do an update to that, Linda, for sure. Dennis, good morning from Mexico. We'll be praying for the Post family. Dennis, all right. Kathy, Linda, thank you so much for asking. I thought of them yesterday. Yes, he is. I love Scott also. Yeah, Scott and I have done a lot of things together. Okay, so let's get into our mental spiritual side. First of all, be honest. How many of you have a really difficult time saying these two letters? No. Okay, it can be a very cathartic thing, by the way. So think about it. You are going all day with your business. Or wherever you work. You're going all day as a mother. You're running the kids to school, after school events. They're involved in cheerleading, band, they're in sports, you name it, whatever they're involved in. Then you are asked, can you run to the grocery store? Can you go do this? And before you ever get a chance to get home and take care of yourself spiritually and mentally, then you're asked to go to a meeting. Then you've got friends that are asking you to go out. And what happens? You want to say yes to everyone because you don't want to let anyone down. Been there, done that, and have gotten better at it. No one's ever going to be perfect. Remember, we are imperfect human beings. So we're always going to be a little behind when we feel like we're rushing. You're trying to find the balance. You're behind the 8 ball and you're sitting there saying, how do I take care of this? How do I spend the balance of life with my friends? I want to go and say, yes, I want to go for that walk. I want to go to the gym. I want to go and grab a bite with you, lunch, dinner. I want to go have drinks. I want to do it all. But we can't do it all, or we literally exhaust ourselves from getting up in the morning till late in the evening. I'm guilty of it. I get up early, getting ready for this show or personal training, myself or my clients before I go on. And then it is literally go with meetings nonstop, trying to say yes. Okay, here's a good example. So this weekend, I cannot wait. We had our big gala last year, raising $16,000 for Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. I was hoping so bad to be able to put another gala together this year. We can't. So instead, my idea is to combine our 400th celebration with an ability to raise money to another cause very near and dear to my heart. And that is helping our law enforcement. We all know what happened to Officer Travis Brown, TJ. So this is when those organizations like Responder Rescue and Backstoppers step in to help those that are either killed in the line of duty or in this exact circumstance, someone who's injured so badly they may never, ever be able to return to work. Well, that's when the community needs to step in. So we donate to those wonderful organizations, or we give to their GoFundMe like the community has. And I don't know if anybody can check in on where the GoFundMe is for Travis. Maybe my team can do that. Chief Doyle yesterday was saying it was up to over 160,000. I'm sure it's growing from there. So what I wanted to do is to give to those responders, first responders, by having an incredible celebration of our 400th show with the community, but raising money for Responder Rescue, raising money for Backstoppers. Our 400th show is going to be on October 4th. So I want you to be there for many reasons. To see this incredible place, meet this wonderful human being, Tiffany Winkler, and her family of 6. They own Circle 6 Farm, which again, raising the most incredible meat that you will ever have. Wagyu filet, Wagyu meat that is just beyond anything you've ever had before. And just a beautiful place to gather with the community. This was taken when we went on their soft opening outside, and it's right adjacent to the Katy Trail. So if you want to be active, maybe you go for a walk that day or a jog or a bike ride, and then you come on over and you celebrate 400 shows with us, and you listen to a great band. You maybe win some incredible things because we'll do giveaways that day as well. And then you donate to a wonderful organization. We're looking at maybe doing tickets, and the proceeds from that going to the Responder Rescue and the Backstoppers organizations. What do y'all think about that? Because a lot of people were saying, Monica, why don't you charge tickets? And that way you can definitely have a celebration. That was before the lovely Tiffany said, I want you to have your 400th celebration here. Well, that's what we're talking about doing. And it's on our calendar right now, TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and go to the calendar of events page. Keep up with where we're going to be because we just keep loading these shows up. And by the way, Jenny Egan is joining my team. Jenny and I are really going to be getting our heads together to talk about more of you booking us to do just this. Mobile Monicas live from your business, like we're going to do at the Watering Hole, Circle 6, October 4th, 5:30 to 7. How many of you will have already saved the date? And how many of you are already committed to coming there that night? I hope you can be there with us. We will be doing giveaways to those that are there. I want to thank all of you for making time to come out to be there with us in Defiance. If you can, start sharing the word, putting it all over your socials. We'll put an event together and then I will share that with the community so that you can click that you're interested, click that you're coming. But yeah, let's have fun. Let's have great food, obviously. Let's have drinks together. Let's listen to great music together. Let's win some incredible items. But more so, let's raise money. Since we don't have the full-blown gala, this is going to kind of be like that. And if I can, I mean, I've got a couple months. We can do some amazing things in a couple of months. Maybe we have silent and live auction items that night. So maybe we turn that into a very cool casual gala. Linda says, I see Circle 6 are now in the bike rental building. Correct. Yes, that's where, and they do still have a collaboration going with those of you that used to go there. They still do have some bikes that you can rent. Michelle says, I'll be there. Luann says, good morning. Can you still rent bikes in Defiance? Yes, they still do have a collaboration with the gentleman who used to own that. So yes, you can do that. As I mentioned, you can go on a bike ride that day if you want, and then come on and hang with us. So that's what we're coming up with. Every day I give you something new that we add to that, but that's kind of taking the place of that full-blown gala that I threw last year. And who knows? I know you're all very generous. Who knows what we can raise? So that officially can keep us going into the annual gala theme, but it's a down home casual, let's just relax together. And mainly the most important thing is that we raise money for our first responders in the field of police, in the field of fire, in the field of paramedics. And I don't want to forget dispatchers, every level of what goes into taking care of you. So I hope you can be there for that. But before that, I mentioned I would give a little more information on the October and September events. This one in Pacific, Missouri. Mark this on your calendar. I'd love to see your faces at both. This is September 12th. 4:30 to 6 p.m. We will be at the Landing Hub. This is a very cool, which you've probably not heard of, boutique hotel. And let me tell you what, there's something that we're talking about behind the scenes that could be massive. In fact, the biggest giveaway we've ever done on the Real Monica Adams Show. And it just keeps growing and growing because what we've given away at some of these shows has been amazing. This one may top them all. We've got a lot of work behind the scenes that we're going to do before September 12th. And as soon as we can solidify this, I'll start dropping it in. But let me just tell you that you, your family, your business could take over the Landing Hub. Let's just say that. That seat, by the way, you see on the left side is from the Taj Mahal in Las Vegas. They brought it in. Look at that cool. The kids love this place, by the way. Families, you want to book it and stay in a Star Wars pod. That's what that is right there. You go into Pacific. You want to then, after the show, go with us right here on this street and enjoy some laughter, some fun together, and just celebrating the love of the owners, Shane and Jennifer. They own the Cigar Vault as well. So light one up like Jim is right here. If you're not a cigar smoker, that's fine. Just come, enjoy a drink, and enjoy the camaraderie. That's Julie behind the bar, by the way. They've got a wonderful staff right there. And just enjoy the sound of the trains going by in the Route 66 and the train town of Pacific, Missouri. So we got a couple things again for you on tap, and I'm hoping to load up a bunch more before then. September 12th, 4:30 to 6, Landing Hub first, and then over to the Cigar Vault afterwards. And by the way, their humidor is literally in a vault, like a bank vault. It's cool. You got to be there. October 4th, again, 5:30 to 7, and that will be at the Watering Hole affiliated with Circle 6. Good morning to Mark Lalament. He says, good morning to St. Louis. Did I miss anybody yet? Okay, great. I'll let my friends know. We love to rent bikes and ride the trail. Can't be on the 4th show. I'll be visiting my son. Okay, that's fine. As long as you go in and you tell Tiffany and the staff that you heard about the watering hole from our team, you go rent bikes and you eat some of their great food and just enjoy some wonderful time. 54 here in Rogersville this morning. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, we mentioned how absolutely beautiful it is this morning. We're talking about highs only in the upper 70s. If you haven't seen the forecast, we started off with it this morning talking about 80s, upper 80s, and then getting into the mid 90s by next week, Monday and Tuesday. But for the next couple of days, just absolutely beautiful weather with regards to low humidity. Okay, we're talking about saying no. And I just mentioned, be real, be honest. Do you have a hard time practicing that? It really is a practice that you get into and you start saying, I've got to do this on a regular basis, whether it's to commitments or people that drain your energy, create stress. These are all things we're trying to eliminate for you. It's healthy. How many times have I said this in the past? To set boundaries for yourself and for others. Establish the limits in your personal and your professional life. It's essential for protecting your mental well-being and preserving your time and your energy for activities that ultimately bring you joy, because that's what I'm trying to lead you to. If you've got vampires, and what do I mean by this? People who just suck the energy out of you, energy vampire suckers. Get them out of your life. There's no need for them. Let them try to suck onto somebody else, and that person won't let them. And eventually they're sitting in their own miserable space and hopefully coming to the show to completely change their life, right? That's what we need. Dennis says, yes, you have to have limits in inner and outer circles. Dennis, I love that you're saying that. Kathleen says good morning to everybody. So that's the thing. Men, women, boys, girls alike, you need these opportunities in your life to say, no, I've got to set boundaries. And my example was this weekend, I started this earlier. This weekend, we are saying yes to some dear friends that have actually, they've known me since I was 15 years old. We're going to spend time in Augusta with them this weekend. So looking forward to friendship time. Said yes to this. Said no, though, to another friend who asked us to go out on the boat with them to go to Grafton. And it was so hard for me to say the word no. And it's only because I realized I've got to get back home. We're going to be enjoying a wonderful weekend with them. And if I said yes, you're just go, 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 trying to drive to meet them up somewhere on the middle of their boating trip, which I feel is kind of putting them out, and then going out for however long on the boat, coming back, playing catch up to get ready for Monday morning. And, we get up super early to put the show on. So I said, I don't think it, even though I kept trying to talk that's what happens, right? How many of you do that? You say no, then you kind of cringe. And, I think I can make it work. And then you get right back into the stress of it. It should be relaxing to go on a boat with friends. Instead, she said, Monica, we get it. You're going to be enjoying time away with your friends. And so it's important for you to have the balance of life that you talk about. We will plan another boat outing. And that's exactly what would happen. Your dear friends will understand. And I want to thank, by the way, a very dear friend who's going to be staying here for us, taking care of our babies so that they're not stressed out. We were going to take the dogs to her house. We were going to maybe take the dogs to Yuppie Puppy. And she said, let me stay at your house so that you have peace of mind. The dogs stay in their home where they're comfortable. So Janice, I can't thank you enough for being there for us. That's a true friend. Okay, besides the ability to say no, let me give you some other self-care tips for nurturing your mental wellness before we wrap up, okay? We live in a fast-paced society. We all know that. Demands coming at us, what? From every single angle. Talk about work, right? Relationships, social media, so much more. It's no wonder, according to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness. And with this in mind, prioritizing your mental wellness, it's more crucial than ever. We're going to talk a lot about the mental side of life. We have returning guest Nicholas and Cheyenne. Nicholas Murray, you remember him from Mind Muscle Pro, coming in town, and we will be having them on in September. Love the follow-up stories, by the way. They've got a really cool guess what's happened story since Nicholas was on. That's really brought joy to their life. Can't wait for that. With this in mind, you need to prioritize your own mental wellness. It's more crucial than ever. Practicing the self-care, one of the most important ways to improve and maintain a healthy mind and psyche. So 10 self-care tips. So if you journal, you might want to do this. Maybe you already wrote down the fitness side that I gave you. Now put these tips in play that take care of the mental and the spiritual side of your mental and nurturing wellness. Get enough sleep. You want to go ahead and tell me how much sleep you get? I know that Ashlyn was up until 2:30 in the morning putting together content for my interview that's coming up in an hour and a half. God love you. You are so dedicated. I love you. So I know you didn't get very much sleep. I didn't get the 8 hours of sleep that I needed, but I was right at about 7. So adequate sleep. Some people need more than others. Some people need less. 7 to 9 hours each night, fundamental for mental and physical health. Some tips for the best quality sleep are: eat a well-balanced bedtime snack. Well-balanced, I said, but not literally minutes before you go to bed, because then you disrupt your digestive system and you wonder why you can't sleep. Well, you're asking a lot of the digestive system for you to lay down right away and go to sleep. Limit screen time before bed. No blue lights before you go to bed. And sleep in total darkness. If you don't have that, maybe you wear a mask over your face. Maybe you have to have sound. The sound of the ocean is wonderful. White noise, a fan. Do whatever you need to do to calm yourself. And I like prayer and journaling before bed. Meditation before bed, put you in a calm state. Okay. Those are all good tips. 1, practice mindful and meditation, mindfulness. Integrate mindfulness techniques into your everyday schedule, whether through meditation, deep breathing exercises, not chest breathing, but breathing from the diaphragm, prayer, as I just mentioned, or simply pausing to be fully present in the moment, not your mind all over the place. For those of you that say that your mind is all over the place, racing while you sleep, you're thinking of this, thinking of that, it's because you haven't calmed the mind before you close your eyes. You've got to do that. These practices will alleviate stress in your life, enhance the self-awareness, and sharpen your mental clarity. Obviously, I just gave you a wonderful routine, but regular physical activity, not here or there, but making it a point to have it as your schedule. Movement is not only beneficial for your physical health, but also for your mental well-being. Find activities that you enjoy. I say this all the time. Don't get pulled into something that you hate. There's so much to do in the physical movement of life. You find what works for you. You do you. Walking, yoga, dancing, cycling. Somebody just talked about, again, hopping on a bike. Aim for at least 30 minutes of exercise most days of the week. All right, let's talk about nourishing your body. How many of you have trouble on the eating side? Consuming a nutrient-rich diet, balancing the blood sugar, supports your hormone health, which has a direct and a positive effect on mental health. Make a habit of eating breakfast. I just told you it's the most important meal of the day. Get this, how many times have I told you? Within 30 minutes to an hour of waking each morning. Again, there's studies that show 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking. It's imperative for your nourishment health. Combine lean protein with healthy carbohydrates, healthy fats. Consume plenty of water throughout the day. All right, we already talked about learning to say no. How about making time for supportive relationships? Carve out space for purposeful time with friends and loved ones. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Share your thoughts on feelings openly with people who are trustworthy. Boy, that's a big word, right? And don't hesitate to seek help or professional support when needed. Maybe you need to hire a counselor. Maybe you need to look into one of the things that we do here, which is life coaching. All of those. Seek it out. Don't try to do it alone. All right. We're going through some self-care tips for you. How about engage in activities that you enjoy? You know, we've talked about people finding old hobbies, activities that bring you joy that you have forgotten about. Maybe you did them as kids. Maybe you do them here and there, but you need to do it more often. I need to get back to playing my piano. That brings you fulfillment, that sense of joy. Making time for things you love to do can boost your mood and reduce stress. All right. In the evening, you know, I'm big on what do you do before you close your eyes? Practice gratitude. Develop a mindset of gratitude by regularly identifying and focusing on the positive aspects of your life. Keep a gratitude journal right next to your bed. Write in it. Practice writing down the things that you're thankful for, literally right before you close your eyes, because then your mindset's in a positive side. You close your eyes, I can guarantee you that you will sleep better. Focusing on gratitude can enhance your overall outlook and increase the feelings of happiness and contentment. You sleep better, you wake up, and then what do? You bookend the day by starting the next day with intention. I talked about screen time. I want you to unplug and disconnect. Have you ever heard of FOMO? It's the fear of missing out in today's digital age. It can be overwhelming. It can cause you to think you should be constantly connected. What am I missing out on? Did I see this? Did I see that? Is this breaking news? Is this going on in the entertainment world? Oh my gosh, my friend's doing this or that. If you're supposed to know, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, You'll find out at some point. Set aside designated times to unplug from the technology and disconnect from social media. Allow yourself to fully engage in the present moment without any distractions. Find clarity. Be here right now. Listen to the message. Sometimes you don't need to see it. That's why we like adding the podcast on Thursdays, the audio side. Plug in with some earbuds, go for a walk. You start to combine the triangle together. You're finding breathing. You're finding clarity. You're mindful. You're working on mental, spiritual. You're walking. You're doing literally the full triangle in all of that together. Listening to a beautiful message. When you're connected, remember that much of what you see on social media is a highlight reel and not often a reflection of reality. If you feel worse after you're on social media, consider disconnecting from it altogether. That's why we have other platforms. If you say Facebook's not good for me, X isn't good for me, Instagram's not good for me, TikTok's not good for me, then okay. That's why we have YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, get a notification, because what we bring you is good for you. Good for you stories of hope, inspiration, mindfulness, light, dedication, passion, all of that, not the negativity of the news. And then lastly, seek professional support. Reach out for professional help if you're struggling with your own mental health. I am here to take care of you from a life coaching standpoint. We do life coaching. You don't have to meet in person. You can take 30 minutes, carve it out. Some of you might need a deep dive and you go an hour, but 30 minutes of time, aren't you worth that? Do you know your value? It's important for you to take care of it. And when you're struggling and you say, I can't do it alone, let me help you with that. Therapists, counselors, mental health professionals, life coaches, all there to provide the support and the guidance that you need and the resources to help you navigate life's challenges and improve your overall well-being. We're here for support on every single level. Don't go at it alone. Sometimes you need an accountability partner, right? So Dennis, I love the fact that as a man that you weighed in on this, because I love more and more men coming to the show and saying, yes, you have to have limits. You have to have inner and outer circles and how important that is. Jerry, let go of the guilt, which can occur when saying no. Your dogs have Aunt Janice Frack, or is it her treats? Yeah, Frick, excuse me. Yes. They've got all of it. She's a treat to them. Janice is a dear, dear friend of mine. It's also especially hard, Dennis says, for people like my wife that has PTSD. And also with that is knowing your triggers. Very good. Jenny said, my sleep is so restless. I'm hoping these top 10 self-care tips will help you. Ashlyn says, I never eat breakfast. That's the problem. Coffee is usually my breakfast. You got to start changing that. She's a part of my team and she hears me say it on a regular basis. Small changes. Don't try to run the marathon before you learn to walk. Crawl before you walk before you run before you sprint. Don't try to get out there and go at the full steam. That's where injuries come into play. All right, I hope you've gotten some really wonderful tips from today that will start to help you with all the aspects of how you take care of your mental, spiritual, your physical side. These are tips that will really catapult you forward, launching you into what will help you, and not just help you, but remember, when you take care of yourself, it helps those around you as well. So it's been a really powerful show, and hopefully now you can start your day feeling refreshed, feeling anew. Carrie says, I wrote all 10 down and I'm going to practice those. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Sorry for that. Before we wrap up, we're going to give you the devotional. When I'm in studio, it's 100 Days to Freedom from Anger, Shame, Depression, Fear and Anxiety, and Overeating. Those are books, wonderful books that you can get from Stephen Arterburn. The other is our Jesus Listens, Jesus Says, all these things from Sarah Young that Marilyn brought to our team. And we read from those. So I'll do that in our wrap up of the Real Monica Adams Show next.
The world needs to be more positive. Yep. The world, and I'm spreading positivity with my air fresheners. So,
you and I both,
yes.
Sir. Sadly, I wasn't aware of the Monica Adams Show until recently. And was I missing out?
I'm definitely going to turn this on in the mornings on our TV.
She's helping people to understand their value. She's helping women to transform their lives.
From the minute that we walked in, I felt just really comfortable and at home here.
You are always a ray of sunshine and positivity.
Thank you for what you do. I love this whole thing that you're doing.
It's good news
It's great news. It's uplifting and empowering.
But you were engaged, and I love that. So thank you so much.
And thank you, each and every one of you, not only you tuning in, but how many of you that introduced others to this show. And I always love that when people sign in and they say, hey, Monica, I'm watching on this platform and so introduced me to your show. That's what I want you to do. Take these shows, almost 400 of them, share them with your friends and family. Start to saturate their social media pages so more and more people see this. Facebook, Instagram, X, Rumble, as well as YouTube, and then TikTok. We start to put those stories and reels, again, bringing more of the positivity to every generation. And I love so many on my team that are in their young 20s that say, wow, Monica, you have really covered topics that target our generation. I love hearing that. I want to target something for each and every one of you, no matter the age. Okay, so this is Jesus Calling, Sarah Young. Wait with me for a while. I have much to tell you. You're walking along the path I've chosen for you. It is both a privileged and a perilous way, experiencing my glorious presence and heralding that reality to others. You know, sometimes you feel presumptuous to be carrying out such an assignment. Do not worry about what other people think of you. It's none of your business, by the way. What other people think of you is none of your business. And the more you understand that phrase, woo, you're going to catapult in life. The work I'm doing in you is hidden at first, Jesus says, but eventually blossoms will burst forth, and abundant fruit will be born. Stay on the path of life with me. Trust me wholeheartedly, letting my spirit fill you with joy and peace. That's a great way to end a show and to kick things off. I hope you feel better today after watching the show, getting a wonderful workout routine that you can do. Tell me when you do these, by the way. I really hope that you're starting to get stronger, healthier. You feel more vibrant and energetic in life. Dennis says, I actually use that devotional. I love it. Monica, thank you for another great show. You are very welcome, Debbie. Each and every one of you on Instagram that I saw that just signed in, I think I saw our cousin. Yes, she did, from Alabama. Love. Kim Pruitt. She's probably still not on, but Kimmy, if you are, hello, God love you, and look forward to seeing you very soon. And I love all of you as well. I'm going to get ready for a wonderful interview with Nathaniel or Nate Hurst. He is from our area, and how cool is this? He is starring in Hamilton at the Fabulous Fox Theater, which kicks off next week. This week, though, is the wrap-up of the 106th season of The Muni. And I didn't get a chance to go last night. That was me needing to say yes, but I had to say no. That one hurt my heart because I would have loved to have seen Anything Goes. I encourage you to do so. Beautiful night tonight. Beautiful night tomorrow. Even going into the weekend. If you haven't been to the Muni in a long time, and one of the meetings I had yesterday, the girl said, I haven't been to the Muni in I don't even know how many years. I completely forgot about it. That's why I bring it up. If you love the arts as much as my family does, don't miss out. The Muni, the Fox, Stage of St. Louis, Loretta Hilton, the Opera Theater of St. Louis. We've got incredible art districts. Don't forget about them. We went to the Grandel, had a chance to see a Tennessee Williams Festival, the Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. It was fabulous. Go see that. There's so many reasons why you should never feel like there's not something that you can find to do. You know, get out of the rut of let's go get drinks, let's go get food. Find something else to do. Get out of your comfort zone. Start really enjoying life. Just grab hold and wait till you see what's waiting there for you. Love it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jerry, saying that that's another great show. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. We'll be doing Positive Talk Time. And tonight, I'd love for you to watch another show at 4 p.m. It's Wet Your Whistle Wednesday live from Defiance Ridge Vineyards with Chuck Gillentine. Another great wine will be featuring. And I hope to see you there. It's the big Camus dinner tonight, after all. Anniversary wine against anniversary wine. It's going to be awesome. All of that coming up. Enjoy your day. And remember, be kind.